Hey guys, welcome back to the Cult Classic Kid Show. We're back in the Goonmobile. Um, so apparently Nexus Mods just announced, early yesterday that they sold the company. um, and they assure it's not a corporate exit, and that the whole goal was to hand off Nexus Mods to somebody that cared about mods as much as the original owner did. Dark0ne, I believe his name is. And he's said that he's already taken a step back from, the usual grind of bringing mods to life, and having a place for them. And the only issue here is that the new owner is completely just undisclosed. So nobody knows who owns Nexus Mods now. And, I would like to believe that this individual did the right thing with who they sold it off to. I mean, I can understand that, pretty much they expressed that their entire adult life was dedicated to Nexus Mods and that they've not really gotten to, actually have a life outside of this. And, I can understand what it would likely take in order to run a major mod, website such as Nexus Mods. It can't be easy. So they've already taken a step back. The powers have transferred. So, what they said, in my opinion, all sounds good, but obviously we don't know who owns the site. So that's kind of concerning. And, I was always wondering back when Nexus Mods kind of just let the whole gender thing go when it came to Elder Scrolls Oblivion Remaster. I wonder why they let that go, because they have shown time and time again to be very much politically driven in some of their choice making when it comes to certain mods. I remember reporting on stuff like when Marvel Spider-Man came to PC and people wanted to mod the Pride flags into USA flags. That was a mod that was shot down. A blatantly, what can only be described as a politically driven moderation choice. And so when they decided to just let the Elder Scrolls Oblivion, gender male female mod go, I was like, really? Like, what's going on here? I had to raise an eyebrow at it. And the only thing I could think of was at that point, one of two things. What I think is the most likely is that perhaps the new people that run, the new ownership just said, let that shit go. And that would be hopefully the ideal thing, because I would hope that a new owner of, Nexus Mods was less politically driven. And who knows, that's wishful thinking at the end of the day, right? But the other thought process is maybe they were going through, at the time, considering, pushing the ownership change and the sales of the site. So anything to not draw any potentially negative attention to the site that you're trying to sell off to another person or a company of sorts is, let's just kill that discussion to, kill any bad publicity towards Nexus Mods, which also really makes sense too. But who knows? The thing is, we don't know. From what I read, it didn't seem like they said a specific date in which the company was sold off, but that it already has taken place, and the original owner has already kind of, started taking steps back from the website. So I hope that things get better, idealistically, of course. I hope that they have a more hands-off approach with the website, because their moderation choices have proven time and time again over the past few years to be very politically driven and really trying to be intrusive of people enjoying the games how they want to. That's the whole point of, modding in PC gaming, is to, there's some things that I would personally like in this game that aren't present here, or some things that I don't like in this game that I don't want to be present here. Hey, I could just use a mod and fix it the way I want to and enjoy my game the way I want to, because gaming is an individualistic experience in a lot of cases, especially with single player games, right? And Nexus Mods had to step in and be on some fucking bitch shit. So all that shit isn't cool, but you can't ignore the importance of Nexus Mods. Nexus Mods is the biggest modding website on PC that at least I know of. Not only do they provide so many users with, great mods, and not only are, modders huge contributors to Nexus Mods, but Nexus Mods does their absolute best to actually, scan these mods and make sure that, they aren't nefarious with their creation. And that stuff is, not all modding sites do that kind of stuff. Sometimes you take a chance with getting mods from different websites, and that's why a lot of people do, even despite their politically driven nonsense, people still use Nexus Mods to get their mods because it's safer than most other alternatives out there. But overall, I do hope that whoever does now own Nexus Mods will, kind of have a hands-off approach, or at least instead of being politically driven, actually address like some really sus mods on the site. Can we do that? I understand trying to rid websites of hate, but the term hate is applied to so many things that aren't even necessarily hate. I think that Nexus Mods for a long time has tried to mix hate with indifference. Like, I don't hate gay people, but I don't give a shit about the pride flag. Like, sorry, not sorry, I feel nothing for this flag. So, I'm sure a lot of other people feel the same way, right? I just don't really care. And for a while, and for many years, really, people have mixed indifference with hatred. And, that's not really a thing. Just leave me the fuck alone is more often than not what people want. And unfortunately, there's been a lot of intrusion with social political ideology and all that. But I hope that in the very least, Nexus Mods ownership addresses some rather truly nefarious things like, underage stuff, stuff and things that generally is concerning. And I hope that they continue to take care of the site to make sure that these mods stand the test of time. And, this is all history at the end of the day, right? We can only hope that Nexus Mods will get better and do the right thing. And, maybe burnout was really affecting judgment over at Nexus Mods. And I hope that any of the moderators that were involved and put the clap on, misjudge a lot of stuff, if it be for their own political ideologies, or they just have a really bad take on what should be moderated and what shouldn't be. I hope that, they get the fucking boot. And, Nexus Mods gets back to doing what it's supposed to do with a blind eye to ideology. But yeah, I don't really know what to say other than I'm curious as to who owns it now. This could be concerning because of if it's, he's saying that this is not really cashing out to a mega corporation and moving on. I mean, you could say that, but we don't know who owns it now, so who knows what the truth is at the end of the day, right? So I hope that's not the case. I hope that there's passion there for whoever owns the site now, and that it's not, one corporate company that happens to own maybe a major publisher that, to where they control mods for their specific games very closely. Like, that stuff would be terrible, right? But yeah, guys, let me know what you think about this in the comment section down below. Are you glad that the owner of Nexus Mods has sold and is backing out, given, the poor history of their moderation judgment? Or are you happy? Are you happy about that? Or are you sad about that? Are you concerned with, this decision making, this choice? Do you often use Nexus Mods? Do you not care? Are you a console gamer that it's like, I don't know any of this shit? Let me know in the comment section down below. If you can, guys, please turn the notification bell on. Like 10% of my subscribers actually get a notification of when I upload a video. So if you set the notification bell to all, you're subscribed to me because you want to see my videos. I make videos because I want you to see my videos. So it sounds like an equivalent exchange, right? And hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Please share the content as well. That really helps more than you guys know. You guys have so much power and you don't even know it. But, consider becoming a channel member, get to instant access to the Discord, get to dope-ass emotes for the live streams on Tuesdays and Thursdays, at night, where all the freaks come out and the gooners come out. And yeah, guys, with all that being said, I'm out. Peace.